to be me. So, but they've always signed me because they thought I was good. So the thing is, when you sign a nothing deal, that's what's going to happen. If you sell 10 million right out of the gate, you're going to get pennies on the dollar, and you're going to go, wow, why did I get a check for $300,000 when I sold 10 million records? Which I take a check for $300,000, but with those numbers, you're talking about $100 million gross on a record. That's just really bad for the artist. The thing is, where the artist makes money is merchandising, licensing themselves, publishing-wise, touring revenue. You know, because that's all yours, free and clear. People like Mariah Carey who have sold millions of records and renegotiated their contract down the line. Those are the people who really do extremely well on just record sales alone. Unless you own your own label and then you're licensed through another major or something like that. So, but it's really a sad story. I mean, like, basically, if you watch VH1 Behind the Music and Spinal Tap, and you watch them back to back, that's the whole music business in a nutshell right there. You know, that's the live end, and then there's the business end. But it's important to just to look at the way I look at it is, if I didn't get paid, if I wasn't able to make a living doing what I do, I'd still do it because I love to do it. You know, and that's the people get in for the money and the cars and the trips to Ruth Chris Steakhouse are just, I think just kind of like not in it for the right reason. People will go, hey man, I'll lug my own stuff, tune my own guitars. I don't care where I play as long as I get to play for some people. Those are the people I think who truly last. The other ones are kind of here today, gone today. So, but anyway.
What's your touring schedule like for a year? How rough is your road schedule?
Well, as the band lasts, we basically will be out because we made a record this year, which it was about 6 weeks working on the record. We'll be out. We'll be away from our houses this year about 9.5 months out of the year. We won't be home. We have 2 shows in New York City, which we all live. Everybody in the band lives in New York City, and we have 2 shows with Greg Allman in New York City coming up at the end of the month. Which we're more excited about the prospect of sleeping in our own beds than the actual show. I mean, to me, that's like a big deal. I was like, whoa, man, I get to sleep in my own Sealy, Posturepedic. It's that kind of thing. But the thing is, that's what kind of act this is. It's not like a blow up overnight. Wow. It's like the whole thing. We go out and we pound the pavement and we play for 500 people at a time, and then they come back and they tell more people, and then they come back and there's more people. It's just a whole big thing. So that's what we really strive to do. And I think everybody, I can speak for everybody in the band, we all love to do it. We wouldn't be doing anything else. We certainly don't do it for the Applebee's. We do it for the McDonald's. But that kind of thing. Go ahead.
With music sharing on the internet now, how damaging is that to the record companies and to artists overall?
Okay, I have a theory about this. Napster and all those things hurt artists like me more so than it hurts Metallica, and I'll tell you why. Metallica comes out with a record, and just all things being equal, they go from selling 3 million records to 2 million records. They still sold 2 million records. Okay, if Napster takes a million sales away from them, okay, they've still sold 2 million records. If I come out and I sell 100,000 records before, and then Napster takes, and then after Napster, I sell 50,000 records. They're taking much greater percentage and a much greater thing from an artist like myself and mid-level, artists where they were like, hey, they rely on those 100,000 record sales to keep them going to do the next record so they can keep touring and everything else. File sharing is great, if it's just one song. If people go out and buy the record, that's great too. But if they're downloading the whole record, art and everything else, it's going to get really scary. I mean, the record companies, everybody thinks the record companies are really, it's like an evil entity, but the thing is, they're really, they're really scared because it's a very scary prospect of the fact that a record will cost, by the time you record it, market it, put it out, will cost probably $750,000. And that's not a big budget album. And the thing is, nobody's going to be making albums in the future if they're not going to be able to sell them, if people just get them for free. So it's a scary thought. But I guess it's a good technology. As long as they have a way to kind of, I guess, regulate it, then I think it'll be a good thing. But right now it's like the Wild West out there, man. It's a little scary. So.
Do you think the guitar thing will come back around, the musician thing, where good musicians are really appreciated?
Yeah.
How's your generation handling that? I mean, it seems like it's kind of by the wayside.
Well, it's fine because I think a lot of times image versus substance has always been a long-withstanding battle. Even you go back to the 60s, you had bands like Herman's Hermits and you had Led Zeppelin, both equally doing the thing. Now it just seems like image just prevails and is forcing the substance to go underground. I think eventually people will kind of go, hey man, I'm tired of
It's got to cycle back.
It's got to cycle back, and I think it'll always come back to that. And
It's already happening.
Yeah, it's already happening. I mean, you see a lot of hippie bands, Mo, Fish, all these bands. They're, they go up in flannel, and just they don't care about their image. They just go up and they play. And I think it's coming back to that now. And you have artists that are coming out in more acoustic sound, and it's just a more natural thing. And it's just musicianship is first, and style is second. So, but it'll come back. I'm not worried.
How much artistic freedom do you have on your records from the company?
Well, I just basically put anything I want on there. I've been very lucky with EMI and Epic and Mentalist, and I've been able to do exactly what I wanted. There's sometimes I'll deliver 4 or 5 10-minute songs, and they're like Joe, they just won't fit on the record, so we have to cut them back down. But no, I've been extremely lucky. I haven't been like nobody named Lou Pearlman is kind of molding me like so. But it's I'm very lucky because it's nobody's really